Akim Onapajo, that's the next presenter, is an associate professor of political science. He is currently holding the position of senior researcher and assistant director at the Legislative Center for Security Analysis, which is a unit under the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies of the National Assembly. He has held teaching and research positions at various universities, including 9 University of Nigeria, Base University, University of KwaZulu-Natal, and University of Zululand in South Africa. He holds a PhD in political science from the University of KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, an MSc in political science at the International Islamic University. He earned his BSc honors at Lagos State University. Dr. Onapajo researches in the area of conflict, security and elections and international relations. His publications in high-impact journals make him one of Nigeria's most cited political scientists, going by Google Scholar citations. Citations 1520, H index 19, 10 index 26. And in this regard, I think I can attest to the fact that as of 2013 or so, or 2012, 2022, 2021-22, Dr. Abdulakim Onapajo ranked 7th in Nigeria among the most cited scholars in his discipline. Number 7. I don't know what the present situation is, and that among the top 10 most cited scholars, most respected scholar in this discipline was number 7. So in scholarship, this is how we assess the worth of academics, the worth of lecturers, not by the number of years you spend in the university. You can be there doing nonsense and you become professor. Everyone is a professor here and there. But let's see what this is how to assess it. We'll put your name on Google, we'll see what you're doing, how far you've done. So we have a young but highly respected scholar before us. He has received recognition by the California-based Scholar GPS as one of the top 0.5% scholars in this area of specialization. That's a very big one. I'm going to retake that. He has received recognition by the California-based Scholar GPS as one of the top 0.5% scholars in his discipline. Yeah, I mean, this is a big one. Dr. Onapajo is a recipient of the highly competitive African Humanities Program AHP Fellowship awarded by the American Council of Learned Societies, ACLS, and the African Peace Building Network, APN Fellowship, awarded by the Social Sciences Research Council, SSRC. He has delivered talks on topics in specializations at local and international forums, including the Chatham House of the United Kingdom. Do you know what that means? He has delivered talks on topics in specialization at local and international forums, including the Chatham House of the United Kingdom. So he has consulted for state and non-state agencies on various developmental issues around peace building, elections, and democratization. Some of them include the Economic Community of the West African States, ECOWAS, Electoral Institute for Sustainable Africa, ASA, the Electoral Institute of the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Westminster Foundation for Democracy, and the African Heritage Situation. Ladies and gentlemen, just 1 minute, just a minute, please, a minute. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we assess the worth of scholar. It's not by being a university-based scholar. I'm a lecturer at University of, what are you doing there? Is it this thing you do and go on a daily basis to present lectures? That is not it. So when scholars are talking, it's not by being affiliated to any university. I'm a lecturer at the University of Lagos. I'm at the University of Ibadan. We're interested in knowing what you're doing. This is how to assess it. Brothers and sisters in Islam, ladies and gentlemen, please it's me to present to you all. This is another Malaysian product. Yes, another Malaysian product. Say, I said it earlier that they'll see him and say, Ogayin Koari, when I want to learn Nigeria, so they are Ogayin, I want to make it trouble. But see what is happening. See the quality of this, a world-class scholar. Dr. Blakim Onapajo, you're welcome. We're set to listen to your presentation. Thank you. So I'm going to make you host now to enable you share your, whatever you like to share. I'll make you, I believe you are at peace with that, you're comfortable with that. So welcome. Now, your host, Bismillah. Ìwọ má sọ òyìnbó púpọ̀ irú tí Abudu Ghana yẹn ìdajì òyìnbó ìdajì Yorùbá ní kò sọ.
Let's have you with him. Thank you very much for that. I feel very honored invited to make presentation or to share my views on the condition of the Muslim community at this present time. For long, I do perform. Professor Hamad Rufai is being a great mentor and a source of inspiration to many of us. I was at the graduation ceremony that was held, is it in the second week of January or first week of January? And I was actually impressed with what I saw that day. And since I left the place, I've been even informing people about the good things you are doing. And the most surprising or shocking part of it is the fact that it's self-funded. You are using your resources to do this very wonderful project. May Almighty Allah reward you abundantly. And may Almighty Allah expand the program beyond even our own expectations. So I've been called upon to make a presentation, and time me want to lo time me go. Our professor at the first presentation.
Oh, Thierry, thought you to be bad dárúkọ àwọn èèyàn sórí àwọn professor wa yẹn tó ti ó kù díẹ̀ kó dárúkọ wọn.
Professor Malay no more, but ọpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run pé ẹ tètè control situation yẹn.
Yeah.
So adúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. So what I'll be talking about, it's I'm trying to share my slides here. So just give me a minute to do that. Slides. So is it okay this way?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'll be discussing this morning, it's more of an extension of what Professor Jalil has presented. And one good thing about his presentation is that he has laid a very solid foundation for mine. He has looked at the issue of the condition of the Muslim community and Muslims, basically from the socioeconomic perspective. And I'm intervening, I'm coming in from the angle of politics. My background, it's more in the area of political science. So, and I also research around religion and politics.
Oh, the Lord.
So what we'll be discussing today is what I call the Muslim question in Nigeria's democracy. So when we say Muslim question, what I have in mind is for us to have a frank conversation around the issues that concern the Muslims in Nigeria's present democratic dispensation. When I say issues that concern the Muslims, I mean for us to examine the state of affairs. The platform is about discussing developmental issues. So for us to have a discussion around the state of development of the Muslim community with regards to our journey into democracy since 1999. There is need for us to talk about the Muslim question because what we see in the media or at forums for public affairs discussion, you see them talking about the Igbo question, the issue of IPOB, secession in the Southeast. There has been discussion around Niger Delta question too. For us in the political science, we also have what we call the minority question, the national question. So there is need for us also to begin to have discussions around the Muslim question. So I want to approach this discussion from the angle of religion and politics, because the thinking or what is sold to us is that there is no need for us to discuss religion in politics. There has to be a clear separation between religion and politics. So I'm coming on the premise that this is not realistic. In fact, it is deceitful for anyone to claim that religion is not connected to politics. So let's start from the thought of Karl Marx. I want to work in social sciences. And in fact, I want to go to law university to get paid into activism. There's no way you would not have come across Karl Marx. Karl Marx is the strongest intellectual figure in the modern social sciences. See, I'm calling University. And he has this large theory of the society. He specifically mentioned in part of his theory that religion is the opium of the masses. So what he's trying to say here, although many people have interpreted it negatively, maybe he had that in mind, we have to excuse him, he's an atheist. So for him, he said religion is an instrument used by the capitalist, the bourgeoisie, to oppress the masses. So religion is an instrument of domination. But what I want to use from this is not to go in line to go with him in his thoughts, but to establish the fact that religion is a major instrument used by the elite for political reasons, whether for oppression, whether for legitimation, whether for political mobilization. It is an instrument that is used by those in power through manipulation. And you see, sociologists, those who have done works, there is a guy known as Jonathan Fox. He has done an extensive work after his own on trying to show, on trying to repudiate, reject some of the thoughts of modernization scholars. After the Age of Enlightenment, don't promote a secularist world, a state without the influence of religion. Develop, and move away from religion. So this guy came with his own argument that it is wrong to assume that religion is dead in modern society. That in fact, religion plays a central role in our foreign policy. Trump and the Trump the United States of America, Abu Ghana would always argue about this. It has a strong influence of religion. In terms of foreign policy decisions, our decision with America and need over the Palestinian issue. It has element of religion in it. Religion one low for political mobilization. One low láti lè fi support a bit discredit the policies. It happens everywhere. So this guy is saying that we should not be deceived by this idea of, modernity, trying to separate religion from this state, modern state, that religion occupies a central place in the state. So, and this has manifested in the Nigerian situation, right from, fellow pre-colonial period. But Nigeria by nature, Nigerians, our team Nigeria by nature, we are religious people. So religious people here, it depends on what we believe in. By nature, we believe in a supreme being that protects us against evil. And we are committed to that belief. So colonial masters, they use religion effectively to legitimate their regime, their rule. In the northern region, one try they establish a good relationship with the emirs. And one know our emirs here, if it spread, use the language of authority, obedience, absolute obedience to the authority. So anyone if it gain entrance into the northern region. And they were so smart also to the extent that they delayed the Christian missionaries from their activities in the northern region. In many parts of the north today, except for our southern Kaduna and some places in the middle belt. So one delay, Christianity must spread because they don't want crisis. They want a stable political environment so that they would be able to establish their rule in that region. So these southern parts, near Odowa, except for the eastern region and the Niger Delta region, our Christianity was near south, near southwest. The Christian missionaries, they were used to penetrate the people easily. So religious text, one interprets the Bible in such a way, those suggest to be there is racial superiority. The white people is superior over the black people. So, and they use that as a platform, attract absolute obedience from the people, because the message they sent to them was that they were on a civilization mission. They want to civilize us. So the religion, civilize in their own definition of civilization. And the first revolution against the colonial rule started from the church. And that led to the emergence of African churches, the likes of, the CAC, the Celestial churches, the Southern African region, are not need their own version of Christianity, Ethiopianism. So, church not. So what I'm trying to say here is that historically, religion has been a central part of our politics. In fact, even at the post-independence period, independence in 1960, or even before Katogba, politics that led to the independence period, religion played a central role. MPC, the Northern People's Congress, the first major political party in the North, Islam was used as a basis for mobilization. In fact, one party any consensus of the Muslim ijma, and anybody to go against the consensus, the agreement of the Muslim Ummah, that person was considered as a munafiq. So what the negotiation do? So then the major opposition to the Northern People's Congress, then the Middle Belt region, it was also on the basis of religion. The likes of Atif, there were political parties, the TV Union, there was the Middle Belt Zone. They had their own political parties, and everything was founded on religion and Christianity. That to counter a supposed Islamic hegemony in the Northern region. Then lọ́dọ̀ tiwa ní West, there is always this claim we have a strong religious harmony, we have religious tolerance, Mùsùlùmí àti ẹlẹ́sìn kejì àjọ ń ṣe àti àkíyè, but that is not entirely true with regards to politics too. In fact, historically, our Professor Olóyèdé wọ́n ti ṣe a lot of works in that regard. Fáwọn tó bá ka àwọn iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣe in the 80s and the 90s. So it was able to show us some of the political parties tí àwọn Mùsùlùmí found nígbà yẹn against the hegemony of Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀, Babawo Action Group. So there was the one tí wọ́n established in the 1950s, wọ́n pè ní United Muslim Party, UMP. Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ló ti found yẹn. Nígbà tí wọ́n lose gbogbo seats, they were not able to make significant progress. So they founded another party. They call it the Nigerian Muslim League, NML. That was around 1956, 1957. So in fact, all these point to the fact that religion has been a central part, and global Sharia debate to share later in the 1970s, in the 1980s, even up to the military era, we've had the challenge. We've had the issue, not a challenge. We've had the issue of the strong involvement of religion in politics. So, and it defines who we vote for. It's a major component of voting decision. It's a major component of even government policies. If when you first send whatever policy the government is making, they take into consideration all this religious issue. So now we've had democracy since 1999. And this is where I'm much more interested in. Since 1999, we had our democracy. And I'm interested in knowing that to what extent has democracy impacted meaningfully on the development of the Muslim community, on the lives of an average Muslim. Democracy presents its own opportunities. Democracy presents opportunities for people to compete for power and opportunities. And we have actually seen it since 1999 that there has been competition, strong competition between religious groups over who takes what, who is going to be in charge of this and that. And we have actually seen the way the North has used it. Sharia was used as a political tool then to checkmate the government of Olusegun Obasanjo, because then there was this fear, or what if President Obasanjo ń gbé ńgbà yẹn, ó bá àwọn the established Northern Muslims, ó bá wọn lẹ́rù, because the hierarchy of the military structure then was dismantled. It used to be dominated by the Fulani Hausa Muslim group. Then he came on board, he started fixing people from the middle belt into major hierarchy of the security architecture of the country. So now they were sensing some sort of, political strangulation of that region. So they now started their own, and I've done some work in that area. I can make some references so that you can get some details about this issue. So they had their own strategy. That's why some people call that Sharia, political Sharia then. Then the same formula also was used for Goodluck Jonathan. It was seen he himself also, he leaned more towards the Christian community, and they saw Buhari as a better alternative. They were calling him Megaskia, the truthful one. They were using him to present a Muslim leader, and so on and so forth. But 25 years into democracy, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming. I'm having a meeting now. 25 years into democracy, can we say that Muslims, despite the politics that have been played in the northern region, even in our own side, we don't have a strategy anyway in the south, in the western region, southwest. So, but 25 years of democracy, can we say that we have benefited from democracy or we have not benefited. So based on my own assessment of everything, in 25 years, although we have the numbers in terms of representation at the parliament, we have, if you look at the National Assembly, in terms of the population of Muslims there, you find Muslims having the highest population. The House of Reps, the Senate, in terms of the number of states where we have governors, you see, if you look at it nationally, you see that we are there. But has this translated into anything meaningful in terms of development for us? The answer is no, and a capital no. But I'll continue from my side. The answer is capital no, and this is where the data shared by.
Why Toshiwa announced being in have spotlight in OTFT Abuja Lofi. Abuja Lofi, Para Michigan, Nishibe, Para Michigan, at you understand.
So it's okay. Our data, the data shared by Professor Abudugana is very useful in this regard. And I totally agree with him in terms of the deficiency of data. And it's not only affecting the Muslim community, it's a national crisis, it's a national problem. I'm working with the government now, and I know how much we are suffering with regards to the issue of generating real data about national development. So if you want to infer from the presentation of Abudugana, we would see there's no doubt that we have the highest rate of illiteracy in Nigeria. The question of out-of-school children, where is out-of-school children? Where is it most rampant? It's in the most Muslim-dominated states. To do a conservative statistics of out-of-school children, I think 70 to 75% of the entire population would be Muslims. Then you will have to excuse me. Bro, yeah, welcome. I'm having a meeting today. Okay, yes. So if you give me 2 minutes. Please, sir, give me 2 minutes. No, don't worry. No, okay.
It's okay.
I'll go to the boardroom. Just give me 1 minute. Let me go to the boardroom.
Okay.
Sorry. So sorry. So if you look at the population of out-of-school children, more than 80% of them are Muslims. If you look at the poorest people in Nigeria, we have Muslims. Because if you judge from the data shared by Professor Jalili, you see that the states, the poorest, the states with the highest number of multidimensional poverty, you find them in the Northeast. These are Muslim states. In terms of the most terrorized states and conflict-ridden states in Nigeria, they are Muslims. In terms of the number of dysfunctional homes, especially in the southern region, even there is some data around the states with the highest number of drug addiction. It's in Kano, the Northwest. And when we talk about the Northwest, it's a Muslim-dominated state. So we have a major crisis. And the truth of the matter is that we have not significantly benefited from democracy. We are only interested in numbers in terms of representation in political offices. But how does this political representation manifest in the life of an average Muslim? So what are the causes? What are the causes? Why do we have these issues? There is history behind it. I tried to do a little bit of narration of the history. Muslims are historically disadvantaged group in Nigeria, especially in the southern part. But I was discussing with someone yesterday. Why do we need to lament about history? Why not try to change the present situation? So history has not been very kind to us in terms of positioning us, giving us advantage in the development, in national development. But what efforts are we now making as a people to address the reality of the Muslims in current or in contemporary Nigeria? Then we're also suffering from lack of unity. We are suffering from lack of unity. The Muslim society or the Muslim community is terribly divided into different groups. I have developed the attitude. I'm sorry, we have some of our ustazis, our affairs there. I've deliberately decided to mute most of the personalities and organizations' activities on social media because of the rate at which Muslim so-called Muslim scholars fight dirty on social media. So I don't want to contribute to my own mental health issues. So I personally decided not to see anything about it. Then we lacked strategy. We don't even know what we want. We don't know how to go about it. And even if we have the strategy, we lack coordination because of the belief that, when it comes to issues related to politics, there's money involved. So you see our people misbehaving at that level when it comes to, making preparation to get into politics. So we lack coordination. And even outside coordination, we don't even have the resources. Although we have people who have the resources, but they are not even ready to commit the resources to such cause. Then there is a problem of personal and selfish reasons. Those who have been in politics, when they get into politics, they rather use it to better the lives of themselves and their families. When opportunities come, the opportunities remain within their circle. It doesn't go beyond the circle. It doesn't go beyond their immediate circle. It doesn't extend to the large Muslim community. So I want to stop here. What are the recommendations? What are the solutions to it? This is supposed to be an interactive session. So I want to I've laid the foundation for us. So the next thing is now for us to discuss around these issues, including the one Professor Jalil has presented. So for us to be able to understand how do we get out of the present challenging situation that we Muslims find ourselves. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, sir. Hello, are you still with me?
Onapajo, thank you for the presentation. I enjoy it. It's no doubt in the fact that, you made an impressive presentation. Is that in order? Okay. Which other one you did? Any other one? The three are connected now. Okay. So, Professor Onapajo, you're much appreciated. You see, but our subject to our questions being issues to debatable. I think I noted a number of them. But again, as we said earlier, láti manage time because only time to another 30 minutes or under 1 hour, we want to leave. I felt coming each time tí join. It's because we're having the inauguration today. Thereafter, 1 hour affect you when you're and within 1 hour we'll be done. So our issues here will come back there because we want to a fẹ́ allow kì í ṣe pé èèyàn kàn máa wá sí MAJMA community ó dẹ̀ máa feel pé torí olóṣèlú làwọn àwọn dẹ̀ jókòó sí Àbújá wọn á kàn sọ ṣe lecture tó wù wọn á dẹ̀ ní kàn máa lọ kó sáyé gbogbo yẹn níbi even àfáà tó wá láti Michigan yẹn tí ó kàn gbogbo pẹ̀lú gbogbo ìṣàkárà yẹn àwa ò ní jẹ́ kí wọ́n lọ ní ibi ìyẹn professor wa láti Michigan ni so àjọmọ̀ àyànjọ thank you so much Professor Abdulhakeem you see ní ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀díẹ̀ àwọn scholars wa tí wọ́n ti prepare láti make our presentation kékeré kan fún ọmọ kan máa bẹ̀ wọ́n you see you know nítorí ẹ̀kan present bí 10 minutes again máa bẹ̀ wọ́n kàn máa ju 5 minutes lọ